If having one attractive woman in your bed is nice, but having two hot ladies in your bed is going to be much nicer, right? It should not come as a surprise to any of us as men who have extensive experience engaging with women. Because, as a general rule, we think about sex a lot of the time. Repeatedly, to the point that it seems nearly constant, regardless of whether we are asleep or awake. And to ensure that things are constantly new and exciting, we fuel our sexual mental meanderings with pictures that are so profoundly decadent that they could cause a pornographic actress to blush. That is not to mean, however, that if we had the chance in real life, we would actually take part in these instances of lurid lewdness and riotous ribaldrying. In most circumstances, the most gratifying aspect of our dreams is the fact that we are just able to imagine them. Thus there is no obligation on us to actually bring them to life. And how did this come to be? Because the us that exists in our imaginations is an idealization of who we'd like to be if we possessed infinite stamina, fantastic athleticism, incredible flexibility, and an always erect member of epic proportions. However, as you are aware, the majority of people struggle in a number of these different domains. Therefore, giving in to our wildest desires and living out our imaginations is a pipe dream. Having said that, there is one fantasy that the vast majority of men believe they are capable of actually living out if they are presented with the appropriate combination of circumstances, an open-minded and accepting partner, and significant quantities of high-octane libations. And what is this desire that we have that we most confidently believe we will be able to fulfill in this lifetime? When I say threesome, I'm referring to a ménage à trois. Don't you think that everything seems more exotic when spoken in French? And while there are some males who might think that hooking up with a woman and another man in a threesome would be interesting, the majority of guys are looking for a more traditional arrangement with a woman, a man, and another woman. This makes us the meat in this sexual sandwich. The reason men prefer threesomes, and why is this the sexual flight of fancy of choice for the vast majority of red-blooded males? I honestly don't know whether there has been a lot of research done on this topic or if there are any scholarly books that cover this that can be read. What I do know is that us men having sexual contact with two women at the same time is considered an extreme illustration of the more is more philosophy among guys. In other words, having sex with one woman is satisfying, but having intercourse with more than one woman is preferable. Why? Because there are more of favorite pieces to play with, which are as follows. More lips to kiss, more breasts to caress, more vaginas to. Well, I think you get the point. Secondly, we have the impression that we have just won the jackpot. In most cases, we have to go to extraordinary lengths only to woo one woman into having an intimate relationship with us. Now, we are being rubbed and kissed on by two beautiful ladies who are using us as their sex toy. These women might not always be beautiful in real life, but in our fantasies, they are smoking. Is there anything that could possibly top it? And third, there is always a chance, in our naughty minds, that whenever you get naked girls together in close proximity, they may start getting up close and personal with each other. And us men, we get to have a bird's eye view of it all. This is especially true if we've just finished engaging in some male persuasion. Being the major voyeurs that we are, one of the most common fantasies that males entertain is the idea of witnessing two women engaged in romantic embraces. And now, after getting overheated from seeing all that lady lovin', we may participate in the festivities and sink in a sea of writhing, moaning, and heaving flesh. Obviously, this is a fantasy that will never come true for the vast majority of guys. And maybe things are better off this way. In most cases, the reality of threesomes does not live up to the anticipation. And even when they do, misunderstandings, jealousy, regret, and emotions of betrayal frequently come into play, casting a damper on the proceedings or the memory of them. So long as there are horny men and women who they find appealing, will be our golden chalice at the end of the rainbow. Even while we are aware that it is quite unlikely that we would ever come across it, we will go on, at least in our minds, as if this lustful reward is just around the next bend. And if there isn't, it's definitely a Starbucks nearby. If we are unable to realize our ambitions, we can always solace ourselves with a caramel macchiato while mentally stripping down the attractive barista in front of us. Thanks for watching.